All right, let's jump right in. If you're aiming for a career in legal academia here in India, there's one exam you absolutely, positively cannot ignore. So, in this explainer, we're breaking it all down to give you a clear roadmap for success on the UGC NET law exam.
You know, for a lot of people, that first big hurdle, that major step, is conquering this one high-stakes test. It can literally define your entire career path.
So you've got this one exam, run by the National Testing Agency, and it is the gateway to your future in the legal academic world.
And look, passing this thing isn't just about getting a piece of paper, it opens some serious doors. We're talking becoming an assistant professor, snagging a prestigious junior research fellowship, or getting into a top-tier PhD program.
Okay, so how do you even begin to tackle this? Well, here's the game plan for the next few minutes. We're going to cover the basics, the biggest challenge, how to master it, what scores you need, and your final strategy.
All right, first things first, let's quickly get on the same page about the structure of the exam itself.
So, picture this. It's a single 3-hour marathon. You have 2 papers back to back. Paper I is all about your general teaching and research skills. But paper 2, that's the deep dive into law. And here's the kicker. There's absolutely no break in between. It's a real test of mental stamina.
Okay, now let's talk about the one subject that kind of makes everyone nervous, but is so critical to master. And that subject is jurisprudence.
And here's why you can't ignore it. You can expect 10 to 12 questions from just this one unit. That's huge. We're talking about a chunk of points that can easily be the difference between qualifying and not.
And this quote just nails it. This isn't just about grabbing points, it's about understanding the very backbone of the law. It's the philosophy, the thinking behind the rules.
So what is jurisprudence, really? Well, at its core, it's the why behind the law. Think of it less like a bunch of rules and more like the operating system that all those rules run on. The whole idea actually goes way back to Roman times, but believe me, it's just as important today.
Okay, that sounds pretty abstract, right? So how in the world do you actually study for something like this? Let's get practical and talk strategy. Look, don't try to read every dense textbook out there. The real trick is to connect the dots. You want to link the key thinkers, the jurists, to their main ideas. So when you see a name like Austin, your brain should immediately go to positive law. See Roscoe Pound? Think social engineering. It's all about creating these quick mental connections.
And you're going to want to treat this list here like your absolute can't-skip-it checklist. These are the heavy hitters, the topics that show up again and again. Mastering these is where you'll really rack up those points.
All right, you want to study smarter, not just harder? Here's your 4-step playbook. First, analyze the old exam papers to see what they actually ask. Second, and this is crucial, limit your books. Don't get overwhelmed. Third, make those one-liner notes we talked about. And finally, save the mock tests for after you've revised. That way, you're testing what you really know.
Okay, you've got the strategy, but what score are you actually shooting for? Let's talk numbers and turn that goal into a real, concrete target.
So, what is that magic number? This is where the rubber meets the road. This is the moment your goal gets a number attached to it.
Okay, take a look at these cutoffs from June 2025. You can see the numbers for assistant professor, but then look at the column for the junior research fellowship, the JRF. That jump is a big one. This is where the competition gets really intense and every single mark counts.
And this chart really just drives that point home. It shows you just how competitive it is for that top prize. The bar is set high across the board. Every single question you get right pushes you that much closer to getting into that elite group.
All right, let's bring it all together. We've talked about the what, the why, and the how. So what's the final plan? Here are the key takeaways you need for exam day.
Okay, this is it. This is your game plan all on one slide. Master jurisprudence, focus on the concepts, study smart, and know your target score. But above all, understand the material. Don't just memorize it. If you do these things, you'll walk into that exam with confidence. You've got this.
And I'll leave you with this final thought to really guide your studies. Think about it this way. Are you going to approach jurisprudence as just another boring list of facts to memorize? Or are you going to see it as a fascinating story of ideas to be understood? The choice and the huge advantage it gives you is all yours.